Right, now we're back to part 2 of Jeff's breakdown of his competition. And here we left off where Jeff was back in his opponent's guard and he tried to break out and he got swept with the double ankle pick sweep and got right back into the opponent's guard. Him and his opponent finally reached the end of the mat and has to do a reset back to the center of the mats, back in the closed guard. Now this is where we get interesting. His opponent throws up a triangle catch. Jeff's trying to posture up, but is having a hard time. His opponent is really pulling down on that triangle, keeping the legs real tight. Strong triangle here. Jeff tries to pass. Opponent gets the underhook. And here we have a super tight triangle. And my man Jeff is just surviving. This man's deep sea diving right now, looking for buried treasure. But he's fighting and keeping composure, not freaking out. This is what you gotta do in the triangle. Now he's in big trouble, sitting on his butt, and his opponent just tightening that triangle up over and over. Here's Jeff's last attempt, tries to stand up, and the unfortunate happens. He gets swept right into the mounted triangle. Terrible position for him, but for some reason he still manages to keep fighting and not tap. Tons of heart. His opponent's trying to lock it in, but Jeff is still fighting and still able to keep his composure, not freak out. His opponent opens his triangle just for a second, and Jeff manages to finally push through, trying to pass the guard, but ends up right back into his opponent's closed guard. Man, what a battle. Alright, let's go over some triangle escapes. Alright, so when I defend a triangle, I like to control my opponent's inside arm using my free arm. My objective is to kick my leg over the opponent's head, but in the moment of the pass, the opponent underhooks your leg. That's optimal, because you can still kick your leg over the opponent's head. It's the overhook you need to be careful of. However, most people go for the underhook. Once they get that underhook, you can use your free hand now to pull on their face to get your leg over. Once passed, obviously you can scramble to get back to a dominant position, or you can go into inside senkaku, or go for a side knee bar, or hit a full knee bar. Now in the situation where you actually do get swept in the triangle and fall onto your butt, you gotta cross your feet over your opponent's sternum and use it as a press to pull your head and arm out. From here, you can scramble again or go to a leg lock position. Now the rest of the match, they get reset back into the center, back into the position of closed guard, and the match ends with them in a scramble. So from here, I'm just gonna go over a closed guard escape. That is a standard escape from our gym with all the tiny little bit of details. First thing to note is that we always pass on the side of the bottom foot. Don't ever reach back to check on where the foot is, because that's how you get triangled. This is more of a feel that gets developed over the years of training. Before now, just try this pass on your dominant side. Next, we're going to place the knee that is not on the passing side into the center of the opponent's butt. Be nice to your training partners and don't try to jam it up there, but in competition, that's another story. Immediately after placing your knee into the center, now you're going to take the leg on the passing side and kick it straight back at an angle. During the kickback, you're going to use your elbow on the same side to slide the opponent's leg down. Make sure your hand's on the opponent's outer hip so that they don't get you into a triangle. Once their leg comes down, you're going to now use your leg on the passing side to slide up as a shield, while cupping the opponent's knee with that same side hand. This blocks them from retaining their guard. Next, take your hand on the opposite side and dive for an underhook on the opponent's armpit. Now with your non-shielding leg, you can now slide it across the opponent's trapped leg into side control. If you use your trapping leg to slide over first, you'll get trapped in half guard when you try to slide the other leg through. So always slide the non-trapping leg over the opponent's trapped leg first. Now one more time on the opposite side. Alright everyone, hope you enjoyed that, and hoping to have part 3 done next week, which is the last part, and we'll see where we go from there. Maybe I'll make some videos on some competitions I did and can break down my terrible losses and some pretty good wins that I had. Hoping you're all having a great Labor Day like I am. Bitcoin's back up to $10,400, so I'm sitting pretty right now. Alright, peace.